In football, nothing fuels the imagination of fans quite like the drama of the transfer market. Every whisper, every leaked detail, every cryptic social media post turns into a storm of speculation. And this summer window has been no exception. From Madrid's cunning games in the shadows to Chelsea's relentless pursuit of youth, the storylines unfolding are shaping what promises to be one of the most volatile and dramatic summers in recent memory. What's emerging is not simply a series of transfers, but a web of rivalries, desperation, ambition, and calculated gambles. It's a sort of chaos that keeps the entire footballing world hooked until the final seconds of deadline day. Take Real Madrid, for example. The Spanish giants, who have made an art out of patience and precision in the market, now find themselves at the heart of another potential steal. Their target, Ibrahima Konate. On paper it's simple. Wait for the Frenchman's Liverpool contract to run out next summer, swoop in on a free, and continue the Florentino Perez playbook of efficiency that brought in both Antonio Rudiger and Kylian Mbappe. But football rarely sticks to the script. Liverpool are already bolstering their defense with Marc Guéhi and Giovanni Leone, which puts Konate's future in jeopardy. If the Reds can't tie him down to a new deal, and by all accounts, the player has one eye firmly fixed on Madrid, they'd rather cash in now than lose him for nothing. That's when the quiet but deadly maneuvers begin, reports say. Madrid have already opened talks directly with Konate, rattling Anfield's leadership, while Liverpool themselves scramble to make a final, lucrative offer. The situation is teetering on a knife's edge. Madrid are content to play the long game. PSG are waiting in the wings. Liverpool must decide if they're prepared to sell one of their few dependable center-backs for a fee that might not even reach 25 million euros. It's a classic Madrid storyline. Slow, meticulous, ruthless. At Old Trafford, however, patience is long gone. Jadon Sancho, once the £73 million face of Manchester United's rebuild, is now a problem no one seems to want. Cast aside, stripped of his relevance and sitting on astronomical wages, he has become symbolic of United's mismanagement. Roma have sensed an opportunity, offering a £20 million package structured as a loan with an obligation to buy. For Sancho, it is a lifeline. It's a chance to restart in Italy, to carve out a role in a tactical setup that suits his hybrid playmaking instincts. United would rather sell outright, but the clock is ticking, and it's madness to keep paying £350,000 a week for a player who isn't even part of the squad. Inter are watching quietly. Juventus have already stepped away. But the reality is clear. This is Sancho's last shot to salvage a career that promised brilliance and delivered turbulence. If he fails in Rome, there may be no coming back. Meanwhile, in Turin, another Frenchman is dictating terms with unshakable determination. Randal Kolo Muani, who seemed lost in the glitz and frustration of PSG, has made it plain. He wants Juventus, and nothing else. Tottenham tried, Newcastle tried, yet every offer was brushed aside. His heart is set on a return to Turin. Juventus are working relentlessly to satisfy PSG's demands, a loan plus obligation deal worth close to 60 million euros. Despite the fact the Parisians only signed him for nearly 95 million euros not long ago. It looks reckless on paper, but on the pitch, Kolo Muani has already shown what he can bring. 10 goals, 3 assists, and a presence that Juventus see as integral to their system going forward. The deal is not sealed, but with personal terms agreed until 2030, the momentum is undeniable. In football, sometimes obsession wins the day, and Juventus are willing to pay for this one. The same could be said of Tottenham's desperation. With James Maddison sidelined, Spurs have lost their creative heartbeat, and the timing could not be worse. Enter Dani Olmo, Barcelona's versatile midfielder. Once considered untouchable, Olmo now finds himself on the market not because of his ability, but because Barcelona's finances leave them no choice. Injury setbacks, inconsistent minutes, and the never-ending pressure of La Liga's financial fair play rules mean the Catalans must sacrifice quality to survive. Spurs smell blood. A £52 million move could seal it, and Olmo's versatility as a no. 10. A drifting wide creator, or even a false 9 makes him the perfect fit for a team in need of inspiration. Saudi clubs are hovering, ready to throw money at him. But Olmo has made it clear, Europe is his priority. Tottenham might just be the opportunity he's been waiting for, even if it means Barcelona cut short yet another dream return story. But while Spurs push for Olmo, their London rivals are playing a far bigger, riskier game. Chelsea are on the verge of pulling Alejandro Garnacho out of Manchester United. And it's not just negotiations, it's a tug of war. The player himself is desperate to leave Old Trafford, pleading to join Chelsea specifically, despite interest. From Leverkusen and Napoli, he has no future at United, and the club know it, if the figures don't line up. Chelsea want him for £35 to £40 million. United are demanding £50 million, though they've already backed down from the £70 million they initially sought. The clock ticks. Garnacho is only 21, already written off by United, and fully committed. To the idea of Stamford Bridge, Chelsea are relentless, and if history tells us anything, it's that United's hard stance will soften the closer we get to deadline day. The likely outcome? Compromise in the £42 to £45 million range? Not quite what either side wants, but enough to make it happen. Garnacho gets his escape, Chelsea get their project winger, and United get the bitter taste of yet another mismanaged asset. If Garnacho is begging for freedom, Alexander Isak is waging war. The Newcastle striker, adored by fans and central to Eddie Howe's system, has taken the drastic step of refusing to train. His absence is deliberate, his silence deafening. The message is clear. He wants Liverpool, and only Liverpool. Negotiations are close. A fee of €138 million is reportedly agreed, but the final paperwork has yet to land. Impatience has turned into open revolt. Isak's agent has encouraged him to push harder, to force Newcastle's hand, and he has answered. With a boycott, the club are furious, but measured, aware that this standoff could spiral into something uglier. Isak plays again in black and white, the saga may die there. But if he holds his ground, Newcastle will have no choice but to decide between keeping a mutinous star or cashing in before the window closes. Liverpool wait, watching the chaos unfold, knowing they hold the upper hand. Elsewhere, Real Madrid's goalkeeper dilemma has resurfaced. Andriy Lunin, long trapped in the shadow of Thibaut Courtois, may finally have his way out. Fenerbahce, armed with Jose Mourinho and the promise of regular football, are pushing hard. A loan with an option to buy at €25 million is on the table. And for the first time, the move feels real. For Lunin, this is more than just a transfer. It's a chance to break free from the endless cycle of waiting, to establish himself as a number one. But even here, complications remain. Will Madrid let him leave, knowing they'd need to source another backup? Will Fenerbahce still appeal if they crash out of the Champions League qualifiers? These are the questions hanging over a goalkeeper who has already waited too long for his moment. And then there's Barcelona, locked in another paradox. Robert Lewandowski, the man who rejected an astronomical Saudi offer out of loyalty to the club, now finds himself staring at the prospect of being replaced. His form has dipped, injuries have mounted, and whispers of decline grow louder. Enter Dusan Vlahovic. Young, hungry, perfectly suited to Barcelona's vertical play, and available for what the Catalans see as a cut-price opportunity. Juventus want him gone, Barcelona want him in, and the irony is painful. Lewandowski stayed true, but his loyalty may only accelerate his exit. This is the state of the market as the deadline looms. Players begging, clubs scrambling, rivals circling, and agents fanning the flames. Garnacho dreams of Chelsea. Olmo flirts with Spurs. Sancho clings to Roma's lifeline. Kana edges closer to Madrid. And Isak risks everything for Liverpool. Some of these stories will end in triumph, others in heartbreak. But all of them remind us of the theater that is football's transfer window. A stage where desperation meets ambition, and where futures can be rewritten in a single deal. And now, I'll leave it with you. Which of these transfers will actually happen, and which are just smoke and mirrors? Is Garnacho the right fit for Chelsea? Or will he become another casualty of their revolving door? Can Sancho revive himself in Rome? Or is his story already written? Whoa. And will Newcastle really bow to Isak's rebellion? Or call his bluff? us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the madness of the market, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next twist in this ever unpredictable drama.